Hello everyone. Welcome to another Spiral Wave episode where we examine the foundational principles behind Qigong and Tai Chi Chuan. What we're doing is how we can utilize these principles in our daily life. So let's go over some really foundational points that we've made in previous episodes, and let's enter into a new movement in a Qigong set we're going to be exploring. So number one, very important in Western and Eastern terms, is this idea of the head being suspended from above. I'll go back a little bit here. And so we don't want the head forward like this. We don't want any slouching. We want to have this head suspended as if there was a string attached to the top of our heads. And so the neck extends a little bit. Now, here's the big deal. We want to be natural. So we don't want to be like really stiff, because that shuts off the energy. And the whole point of Qigong and Tai Chi Chuan is flow, is openness, is naturalness. And that's the point that I'm on now with the harmonic self, is the idea of doing what's natural, not doing what is forced. As soon as we go into force, we go into tension. And as soon as we go into tension, we cut off the energy and cut off the flow. Not entirely, of course, we're still breathing, but we can have restricted breathing and we can have open breathing. So the open breathing allows for more oxygen and more flow. And as we open our joints, that allows for more fluids to go through our system. Again, in Eastern and Western medicine, stagnation is a huge problem. We don't want things pooling up and stagnating. We want things to go through, whether it's, we call it Qi and the meridians, or whether it's just the circulatory system of the blood or the lymph. It doesn't matter. We always want that to be moving, absolutely moving. Very, very important. And to be relaxed and to have fun with this. I mean, we want to be sincere, but we also want to have a bit of a smile on our faces. So when I get too serious, this is like, oh, wait a minute, I'm getting, this is fun, right? We're relaxing. What's natural as well? So the head, very important, but also the shoulders. I was mentioning in a T and overtones that this is unnatural. Let this come down, because gravity is pulling us that way. So let this go. The body is designed as this structure to be able to hold ourselves up without us forcing anything. In Taoist terms, it's Wu Wei, non-forcing, effortlessness, non-action in many ways. We're not really doing anything. We're just really letting go of what we're doing. In the pursuit of learning, every day something is acquired. In the pursuit of the Tao, every day something is dropped. So it becomes a thing of like, what can we let go of? I was quoting from the Tao Te Ching, the great Taoist book, supposedly written by Lao Tzu. Every day something is dropped, so we just drop things away. We want to drop away tension. So let's just start as we have. We just open up our joints. Remember our gong here, this point, but it's actually the palms. We want to open that up so the joints are open. The elbow is open, the shoulder is open, not crunched up like this, not like this, not like this, open. And that feeling of openness, which we demonstrated with the Hoberman sphere, is just like we want that feeling of openness. It's almost like we're breathing in through our whole body sometimes called pore breathing, P-O-R-E. We just open up like a sponge, and then we just feel that energy between our hands. Not highly significant in itself, but just if we're not feeling that, then we haven't quite connected with the life force. We want to connect with the life force. We can actually put the light in that ball as we find it between our hands. And as we do, just imagine the ball and put the light there. You just start feeling that a little bit more. Again, open up these palms, open up the elbow, open up, breathe in through the whole body and begin to feel that energy. Okay, so we've got the shoulders relaxed and we've got the head extended. We also want to have the tailbone drop, not tuck, that's tucking. We want to have it just dropped. It's as if we have a weight on our tailbone. And we're going to be holding this Wuji position, this emptiness position, where our hands are resting like they're resting on a table. This is a standing meditation. Our hands are just here. Our elbows are not behind at the midline, we're right here. We're standing on top. We must feel our feet, and we want the energy to go down. We want the tea leaves to settle. Let everything float down. So we start off by we're just feeling, getting some energy feeling. We then go into the Wuji. So always I like to start off by connect with life force. Breathe in through the pores of the body. Open up the joints. Feel that energy between the hands. Turn over, then just relax and just stand. And we can just stand here for a while because our muscles are letting go, our muscles. So once our muscles are letting go, we're then held up by what is the fascia system of the body. And the fascia is connected with the bones. So it's almost like the bones go upwards and the muscles go downwards. And we want to feel all the force, all the tension of the day just go down into our feet. This area here, the lower dantian, just below the belly button, just a couple of fingers down, inside there. Very, very important point for Tai Chi Chuan and Qigong. You always hear about the dantian, usually spelled D-A-N, then T-I-E-N, or sometimes T-A-N, T-I-E-N, dantian. And so we want to feel that, and sometimes you have people rubbing their stomachs or rubbing this part of them, because we want to get the energy down there. We want, when we breathe, we want our breathing to go down there, but not just to stop there, just to let that energy then go into the legs, into the feet. So we want our feet to be flat on the ground with all of our sole of our feet in connection with a little bit towards the forefoot where we find the Yongchuan, the bubbling well, or the kidney 1 acupuncture point. That area is there so that we're just relaxed. And the idea as well is just to relax the thighs. That becomes difficult because we can kind of sometimes feel our thighs burning, because we have got a little bit down. We don't want to be squatted. We want to have just the softness of the knees, but we want to be on top of our feet. And our shoulders down, but again, our shoulders not back here, just downwards. And when I speak about the shoulders, I want to be clear, I'm talking about the shoulder blades. Get very familiar with your shoulder blades. They go in, they go out, they go up, they go down. Just feel them at the back, because we want those just to drop nicely downwards. Just drop down. We want to be able to feel them. So we'll stand like this, and this is called Wuji. We're going to talk about what's called standing meditation more as we go along, and I'm going to give you some other standing exercises. Yeah, just standing, but relaxed. Why stand? Probably one of the most valuable things we can do for our health. There's hospitals dedicated to it in China. Just standing. But we have to stand correctly, and we want to be open in our joints. So we want to make sure that we just don't get kind of like limp like this and start collapsing. We want to have an openness. At the same time, we don't want to be out like this. My shoulders are behind my hips. I want my shoulders in line with my hips. And I want the chest sunk. So it's almost like the lower ribs come down. The upper ribs here can stay up. But I don't want to be having this effect. Lower ribs down, the upper ribs up, along with the back. And in a sense, the back, the trapezius, is really holding up the head. This is really useful for the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is really important for us having that relaxation or that rest response. It's quiet, we just relax. Just feeling all of that energy go downwards. We can just stand here for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's very, very useful to do. My knees are over my feet. And then we start the first movement where our hands, Lao Gong faces Lao Gong, and I'm slightly down in what's called the Kwa, this crease here, this hip crease. Again, if I was wearing a bikini, that would be the bikini line right in there. That needs to be open so that I'm on top of that. So I don't want to be like this. I want to be in and down and with the tailbone tucked so that I'm really on top of myself and then my head extended from above. These are all critical points, and as simple as they are, it's kind of hot in the attic, so I'm kind of sweating a little bit. As simple as they are, they need to be repeated time and time again. That's why you'll see them in all the books you'll read. It always is emphasized. I want to be down, relaxed. And always the energy going down into the feet. Not that we just go blah, 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 blah. We do, but there's another energy that comes up and raises us up. So it's always yin and yang with Tai Chi and with Qigong. There's always a up and down. There's always opposites. So if we're going down, we know that there's an internal force that's bringing us up towards our head. There's nothing magical. It's called in Western terms GRF, ground reaction force. Actually, when we go down, there's an energy that goes up, and we want to connect with that. We want to be natural. Our hands come together, and then we come upwards. As I come upwards, I'm down here, I want to rise up, and I want my center of gravity, as I push up into my feet, my center of gravity comes up to my heart, or the middle dantian. This is the lower dantian, the middle dantian. My hands are here, and then I come back down again as I exhale, and I'm doing what's called compressing the pearl. Up, down. Remember, I want to feel, so boom. You've got to know where your center of gravity is. So get used, this is an exercise in connecting and knowing where you are, where your center of gravity is. I don't have to go down like this. That's not doing anything. That's kind of exaggerating. I want to find out exactly where my center of gravity feels. And I have to be on top of myself to really get, boom, I'm there. Now as I come up, I can feel myself coming up to here. Ah, I'm here. And then I come back down again. I want to feel like I'm stretching as I'm going up. And then I don't want to release the stretch, no chicken wings. I want to keep that. It's almost like I'm squeezing a ball, but I'm not squeezing. There's no tension here. Down, boom, I've arrived. Now I inhale. My hands, my breath, my heart, they all arrive together, center of gravity. I exhale. My center of gravity, my hands, and my breath have arrived at the same time. This is a beautiful coordination exercise. Very relaxing. Do that several times and then return to Wu Ji and just rest and let the energy flow through you. It's a bit of a workout, believe it or not. If you're really focusing, but it's not tiring in the sense of muscularly tiring, although you may feel it in your legs initially. It's more that we're moving energy through our body, and you're going to feel that. Let's go to the second exercise, flying hands. We're in Wu Ji. Now Lao Gong, this area here, comes towards the body. and we bring the energy up till we hit the heart. We put our hands out and then come back down again. Same idea. We're coming up as we raise. We're coming up and down a little bit. Notice up and down a little bit, not a lot. I'm here. Bring it in. I inhale up to my heart center. My hands go out. And then I exhale. Come back down to Wuji. Turn in, Lao Gong, Lao Gong. Coming in, I want to be pretty close to the body. Hope you can see that. Pretty close to the body, in. And then out, I'm further away and I come down. It's almost like I've got this elliptical pattern, like an egg shape, coming around and out like this. Can you see that? Out like this. So it's a very nice movement. I don't want to get all flopsy-doodle in my hands. As I turn in, I want to keep that palm open. And I want that energy to be flowing through. My joints are open. Remember, this is the critical thing. We don't want to force things open. We want them to open naturally, relaxing. We want the spine to decompress. So as we come up, we lead with the head. Finish my in-breath and then out. And then lead with the tailbone. So I've got this constant movement here. So that's avoiding the spine coming down like this. We want to have all the joints open. The more the joints can open, the more the energy can flow through them, the healthier we'll be. So, flying hands. We also, eventually, you'll feel as you develop this awareness in your hands, this becomes much more of an internal exercise where you feel that the energy is tracing these meridians coming down from our nipple down here, the side. So it's not in the center of the body, just the sides of the body. And then we come up. So we're still very engaged in Lao Gong. This is the palms are still open, it's still very engaged. We come out like this and then down. Again, we open up Lao Gong. This is very important. We can always just do this and it means nothing. But if we open up the joints and remember to keep that head up, the shoulders down, we come down, it's a whole different ball game. Again, I want to make sure I've got no gripping with my tushy, that I'm not back like this. So I'm going to go through the movements once or twice. You can do them much more often, but just so you can see the whole movement. More back here. Hopefully you've got my whole body shot. Starting here. So we start in Wuji. I'm on top of myself. Turn in. Remember, coming down. And we can conclude by bringing our hands into our lower belly. Or sometimes we can just bring up the energy by our eyebrows and just bring it down. And we can do that 3 times, circle around, come back to Wuji, come back up. Notice that my forearms don't go up like this, they stay pretty horizontal, so it's not a big movement. But I come down in front, my eyebrows and down, come down, getting the energy. I don't stop here, the energy goes right down into my feet. Again, up and down this way. And I can stop here again and just be in this Wuji position, just relaxed. And then when I'm ready, come up, put my hands here below. Just stand here for a little while, getting calm, relaxed. Everything we've been doing, no forcing, no effort. But we're being very mindful and very aware of what is going on in our bodies. That's the key. And in many times as I was doing it, I was making little micro adjustments. At some point I felt, oh, wait a minute, I just lost connection with the ground. So I had to open up this Kwa, Q-U-A, or sometimes, K-U-A, sometimes K-W-A. Open up this Kwa area here so that I felt that I'm on the ground. And then sometimes my head was forward, I can feel that's out of balance because I'm not lined up. So then I was making these adjustments so that I could just feel. Once I'm in this feeling sense of just letting go, you just go, I could just stay here for a long, long time, and people do. People stand for an hour or so. And all the time, there's so much going on. We'll talk more about standing in our next episode, but this is something for you to practice for now, and then in the next episode, we'll talk more about the benefits of standing and why it's a very good idea, and then perhaps we'll explore another movement as well. Maybe even a little Tai Chi movement that can keep you going. Until the next time, Bei Wu Shui Shan.